I'm very excited to collaborate with Porsche to build my version of a two-car garage. It's a brand where I believe in that legacy, the heritage, that idea of always refining.
Going to Weissach is, to some extent, the holy grail. It's a unique opportunity. Wow, wow, wow. Where to start? This place is just full of history. There is always that very first car and that very last car of a series. Here we have the very first electric one. I think it's a very important milestone. Incredible. Just such a unique treat. Weissach is located near Stuttgart, in a small neighborhood. The chance to not only experience but also discuss with the designer is such a stimulating moment.
So, Marc, here it is. The new Macan. First of all, proportions. Keep the character of the car, but still visualize very clearly that this is not a combustion engine anymore.
The pitch of the roof is flatter than...
Exactly. We are really focusing on our light signature. So if you stand in front of the car, it should have this expression of being very focused.
Most of everything has a very specific function, and his aesthetic is driven out of that.
Exactly. It's not really styling, it's really design and the close connection to function.
So Michael, I'm still looking for an element of the car that is both, functional, and yet you can stare at it and start to have different degree of that definition you talk about onto the surface.
I mean, there's one part, let's say, little detail on the side, a kind of new surface. I could show you. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
We like this pattern. But for you, from an architectural point of view, it has to make sense for the structure as well.
So it has a little functionality in terms of three-dimensionality. It had a bit of stiffness if you look into the surface. And for us, it's the same. We're looking into something, that kind of cocoon.
We always want to have this kind of tension.
Tension, yet continuity into the surface.
Convex, concave.
Yeah, when you mentioned those shift of curvature, those lines go from flat to curve to crease, we actually need it as well.
You create then the stability you need.
Yes, that's what allows us to go so large, big, and yet remain the thickness of a sheet of metal.
The things I have shown you and this pattern and structure, you think that's something you can work with?
We love that aspect that it's both, functional on one end, gives stiffness, it reacts to light, so it's always different, it's entertaining. So I think it's an excellent start. There is a lot of exchange happening right now. Is that winning to that base plate? We always test if it works as a set of parts.